Hello fellow exiles, just a quick video about the Simulacrum Ritualist Build I've been trying out. The build utilizes Ritualist Sensi skill Blood Boil, as well as the unique buckler Blood Barrier, to infect corrupted blood to do damage, and stacks large amount of recoup for defense. I built up a character following Lazy Exile's guide. They have a very comprehensive video about this topic, and I recommend you to take a look, links in description. The build logic was pretty straightforward. You stack as much strength as possible, which means more life and thus more damage with Blood Barrier. You get good amount of energy shield with Azili's Distinct Helmet and some ES nodes investment on the passive tree. You also grab damage taken recoup as life node on the tree. With this unique body armor Sacrosanctum, you get equal amount of energy shield recoup rate, the same as your life recoup. With Ritualist Ascendancy, you have an extra ring slot and 25% bonuses to your rings and amulet. You can easily cap the 4 resistances. The build feels quite tanky. I've done tens of T4 Simulacrum rounds with a fairly high chance of success. Currently sitting at about 4k life, 3k energy shield, and 80% recoup rate. However, since I cannot afford this unique amulet, Defiance of Destiny, the core item of this build mentioned in Lazy Exile's guide, which currently goes for around 80-90 div, exorbitant price, I just chose a rare one with a live recoup suffix, which is obviously a much more inferior choice. To somewhat compensate for that, I use Sunder. Now Sunder is a fairly slow skill. I always complain about it in 0.1 when playing a warrior, but in this build, being slow is not a bad thing because we have this unyielding support gen. With unyielding, you have 8% damage taken recoup as life per quarter second of Sunder's attack time. So we also linked Heavy Swing and Upheaval to further slow the attack, resulting in about 3 seconds of a total attack time and additional recoup on top of our recoup rate while using Sunder. It's definitely not near as good as the effect from Defiance of Destiny, but it does improve our survivability a little bit. So the other 2 links is not as important, you don't actually need them. What I have here is just underbaiting for some increased armor, and Rally. Whenever you use a skill, we consume all endurance charge. With each, restore 10% of our maximum life. And where do we get the charges? It's from Magma Barrier. But again, these 2 are not mandatory. And for Blood Boil, we have Acrimony, Swift Affliction, Persistence, Brutality, and Physical Mastery. Another important skill is Leap Slam. This is the primary skill for mobility. I have Martial Tempo for more attack speed, Holy Descent for Healing Ground, Shocking Leap for Shocking Ground. Because I'm using this weapon Kyushui, hope I pronounce it right, I have 100% crit chance, which means every time I'm using Leap Slam with Shocking Leap support, I can create a guaranteed Shocking Ground, a reliable way to apply shock. Suffuse for expanding the ground effect, and the spoiler prolongs the ground effects to last for 6 seconds instead of 4. For the passive trees, most of my travel nodes are strength. First get Lazy Siege, which gives you 1% increased damage per 1% of the block chance. This is crucial for the build because corrupted blood only benefits from global damage increase and global physical damage increase. Then get Glancing Blows, which doubles your block chance. Also 7% of all attributes. Then just basically following the outer rings of the tree. Get Giant's Blood. Here, personally, I picked Unwavering Stance so that I'm immune to life stunned at the cost of no longer able to dodge and roll. If you don't like it, you may invest this 4 points to this group, which gives you additional 3% of the maximum life. Of course, get all the jewel sockets, and all the way up, get Offensive Stance. The same effect as Lazy Siege. Then Recoup nodes here. And in this socket, I have From Nothing Diamond for Necromantic Talisman, allowing me to allocate these points within the circle. Mana recoup and damage taken as mana are important. So long as we have mana, we will be able to get extra layer of protection, and our mana never runs out if constantly getting hit. Also recoup nodes here, and 3% to defenses. Then the ES nodes, and then travel south. Again, get recoup nodes and some ES nodes. I anointed Pliable Flesh on Amulet. For jewels, try to get the Sapphires with increased maximum energy shield and damage recoup as life. In addition to that, also looking for damage taken to mana before life. You may also get the Megalomaniac Diamond for any of these nodes, but it could be very expensive. Other options are Against Darkness, like this one, or 3 Grand Spectrum Rubies. That's about it for the tree. As for mapping, despite this is a Simulacrum specialized build, with a few tweaks it can clear maps too, though not very good at it. Get a Hammer of Faith as it provides random shrine buff every 10 seconds to help clearing. I also added Herald of Blood and Herald of Plague. Since Corrupted Blood is a form of blood lost, it can trigger Herald of Blood. I linked Hemocrystals, Envenom, Bursting Plague, Reach, Corrosion. It can certainly do Delirium maps, no issue in general, even with dangerous modifiers. It's very safe, though the clear speed is mediocre at best. Poor performance at clearing bridges, but it can be good at rituals, since it can ignore all the mechanics. Single target damage for bossing was just horrendous. I tried many skills, and none of them worked well. I eventually decided to go with Perfect Strike. You will need a whole different set of skills, get a +6 or 7 hammer, and get these notes on the second weapon set. I also have a Red Blade Banner Shield, as it can make you regard enemies in your presence as if having double power. Together with Infernal Cry, I gain 150% damage as fire damage to empower Perfect Strike against unique bosses. Also you need Berserk and Attrition to boost damage. Even with all this setup, while I rarely get killed by bosses, I can't take them down fast either. It can take more than 5 minutes to kill a map boss. And fighting T4 Zesht was just a pure torture. Most of his skills impose no real threat except the palm from above. My damage was so lacking that I have to endure this poorly designed boss fight for 17 minutes before finally taking him down. So, you get the idea. It's not a build for pinnacle boss content. I would much prefer this character to stick with the Simulacrums. Overall, it's a fairly limited build, and my gear was far from being optimal. Without Defiance of Destiny, I can't go truly AFK in Simulacrum. I have to kite the mobs in the initial stage of the last few rounds to avoid taking lethal damage before my recoup starts rolling. And the character will occasionally die to prevent recovery above 50% debuffs. But I'm so far happy with what the setup can do with a relatively low cost. Alright, that's it about the build. I will include a PoE link down below. Please consider like the video if you find it informative and share your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching.
Keep your precious sanity, my agent of chaos.